Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out.
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
No, I wasn't distracted at all by other things and almost didn't start the show on time. No, it didn't happen at all. Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Dive, the Double Ds, where you, the audience, are in control. You are the ones who steer the ship, whether it's into an iceberg or into paradise. It's up to you. No matter what, I suffer. That's the name of the game. We got a good show today. We've already got a lot of content planned. We've got a video that was purchased at the last minute yesterday, or was. I didn't realize it was until we were watching so much lore. I got caught up in other things. So we've got a video already today. You guys will get my live reaction review to the first episode of SpongeBob, as promised. I watched it. God, it was dumb. But we get that. I've got an article that I just found, dropped today. It just dropped today. We're going to talk some more James Gunn because James Gunn can't keep his mouth shut. He's just going to keep talking. But most of all, guys, it's Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Happy holiday that nobody knew about nor cared about until a fentanyl addict got, semi-choked out by a couple of cops and then died and became lionized by a bunch of thug grifters who tried to tell the world that he meant something when, in fact, he was nothing but a criminal. Happy Juneteenth. Seriously, I'm gonna come right out and say it. When this happened, when this holiday appeared, nobody had ever heard of it. Nobody had heard of Juneteenth. Apparently, it was real, but nobody heard of it, and nobody cared. But suddenly, like I said, because a fentanyl addict died in a very messed up situation, suddenly it's a holiday that we have to celebrate? No, it's a bullshit fake holiday just like Kwanzaa. It's as fake as Kwanzaa, all right? Nobody cares about it, but those of you who have the day off, congratulations. Make the best of it. Seriously, I am tired of pretending. I'm not gonna dance around, not gonna pretend, not gonna sugarcoat it. Let's understand that fake holidays must be pointed and laughed at. I mean, I guarantee if I go back in time on my calendar that is automatically updated on my computer, if I go back in time more than 4 or 5 years ago, it doesn't appear on the calendar. It appears today. Now it appears on it, but I guarantee 4 or 5 years ago, it doesn't appear on my calendar as a holiday. So hooray, Juneteenth. I don't have any black articles planned for you. I've got no black representation. I'm just a white guy that lives here in America. Okay? So, what do they have in common? Yeah, exactly. What do they have in common? They're all politically, ideologically motivated, each and every one of them. So, hail howdy, you guys in the chat. Hail the goddess. Hail Gal. Hey, Kel. Kel, who will be joining me and Alf tonight for some Space Marine 2. I dropped $5 yesterday on the Raven Guard DLC for Space Marine 2. So we got to do some grinding so that I can get some credits so that I can buy up all the DLC cosmetics that I unlocked from the Raven Shield. You know what I mean? I don't remember. Names are bad. I'm still learning. Please don't yell at me. So I will be. So we got to grind. We got to make some credits because I got to get all that good stuff. Got to get all that good stuff that I just purchased. I purchased it, but the game's gonna make me grind for it. It's like, hey, maybe since I just spent $5, you should just give it to me. I just spent $5. So why don't you just give it to me? Nope, sorry. Got to get that in-game currency to unlock it. So we're gonna be killing Tyranids and Chaos tonight on Space Marine 2. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm in the mood. As I said yesterday, I'm slowly playing through the campaign. Every couple days, I'll just slog my way through because I'm still trying to get good at the game. I think I just figured out some stuff in my latest playthrough, and I'm getting a little bit better. I'm a little better than I was before. A little better. Either way, we got a show today, though. Let's acknowledge, though, yesterday's super chat or tip from Kratos, El Grados. YouTube wouldn't let me comment this, referring to when we were watching all the massive amount of Warhammer 40K lore we did yesterday. Any woman that doesn't breed with the man that makes room for all of that lore in his brain deserves their small-lobed, micro-dick subhumans. Well, I've got to here. Might as well go watch the Sonic, and then, of course, Stream Elements cut it off. So he gave me a Sonic video, which I actually forgot to get here. Hang on a second. I didn't get the link ready for that, but let me get that ready. So we will when we get around to it, we'll be watching. Let me get it up here so I can get the full title because again, a small window is cutting it off. We'll be watching Bimo the Hedgehogs. It's a small channel, 651 subscribers. Rant against the Sonic fan base. You all ruined Sonic. Sammy classic Sonic fun. Okay, so I'm sure that could be interesting. We'll find out. That's probably considering Kratos has had me watch it. It's probably brain rot. So when we get that'll be last stuff we get to. Other than that, we've got the usual. We got the articles. We'll go over articles. I've got 2 segments for you guys. For me, I got a James Gunn article from Entertainment Weekly, and we've got the SpongeBob review, as promised. Because Kratos, once again, he put down the money, and I will deliver on my promises. But the name of the game, the same as always. And hang on, I didn't update this. 1 second. Let me update it there. Boop. Okay. Name of the game is $5 to order an Adam rant on anything. $10 to ask me a question to discuss any pop culture topic. Just put it out there. It'll be an open discussion between you and I, and we'll have some fun. We'll deep dive it. Maybe go down a rabbit hole or two. You never know where a question will take us. $15 to have me do a hot take on an article we see or maybe one you're sitting on. That is the name of the game. $20 to make me watch videos, and $30 to have me do a live review of an episode of television or a movie. But you got to give me 1 to 2 days because it takes time to watch it, but I promise to get it to you in that amount of time. Save acts of God that keep me from either getting online or having internet service or something like that. And right now we have a donation tier for the rest of July, in June into July, a little bit in July. We are currently at $187 for my Week of Doom, $500 for a Disney Star Wars tabletop live stream, $600 in the chat will choose the era, $700 I will control a famous NPC from that era. Since I'm running the game, I won't have a character, but I can be somebody from that era. $800, and despite the timeline difference, we will put Baby Yoda Grogu in there for shits and giggles. $900, and we will force a crossover with other Disney IPs because Disney has admitted it's all existing in the same universe. And then for $1,000, if we cross $1,000, you, the chat, will dictate what kind of characters the players in that game that day will play. You will have complete control. If you want to make Jed be Geode or a Geode rock alien, you can do that. If you want Jed to be a big-titted female Twi'lek, you can have Jed be a female Twi'lek. You could do that. Full-on whore. You can do it. You'll be in control. We got to cross $1,000 before we get to that. So that's the game right now. Here's the rules as usual. So hell out, everybody. Oh yeah, I forgot about the June. Oh yeah, you also got the Nick Cannon June one. I forgot. Yeah, sorry, almost forgot about that one. Almost forgot. Sorry, Kratos. There's so much to do today. Let me get that one up here too. You're right. Thank you for reminding me because you also did get that one up there for Juneteenth. I guess we do have a Juneteenth. We do have something for Juneteenth, courtesy of Nick Cannon's loin spawn. Let's get this up here. Let's set it up as well. My brains are going to be leaking out of my ears by the time we're done today. They really will be. So this, when we get to this one, it will be Nick Cannon, Nas, and Affion PSA throwback. Nick Cannon. According to Dave Chappelle, he's hilarious. According to the old skits. All right, so let's get started. We have a lot to get through today. Let's go over the articles, and then I'll do my... Actually, no, let's do this. I got a warm-up segment. Well, actually, you know what? No, I forgot. No, my segments are combined. It's all James Gunn. Sorry, I forgot about that. My original segment did lean to James Gunn. So let's go through the articles. Let's go through the news. Let me do a quick refresh on everything to make sure it's all up to date. Let me have a little sip of water. Wet the whistle. And we will get started. Okay. Articles. Here we go. As usual, we start with Variety and their gayness. Cocaine, boofing, and gator tails. Hack stars Megan Stalt. Oh, whatever. Whatever. They're talking about a show I don't watch. Advocate originals to launch on Hulu for Pride Month. Hey, it's still Pride Month, everybody. Remember, it's still gay month. Ryan Murphy blasts inflammatory backlash over camera test images of American Love Story star Sarah Pigeon as Carolyn Bessette. It's not fair. Whatever. Who cares? You're all washed up and all your shows suck. Canadian media myths debunked with Bell Media chief Sean Cohen. Canadian media myths. Nobody cares. You're Canada. How BoJack Horseman influenced creator Raphael Bob Waxberg's new song, Long Story Short, we never shied away from specificity of jokes. I never liked BoJack Horseman. Never thought it was funny. Tourette password win big at Connecta. I could say words if I work hard enough. Fiction and Entertainment 2025 pitching sessions. Sure. Jimmy Fallon, who's never been funny in his life. Jimmy Fallon has never been funny. Let's make sure the world understands that. Jimmy Fallon's not funny. Never was funny. Never will be funny. He's just a perfect little goat boy for NBC. He'll do whatever they want. Perfect little minion. Jimmy Fallon teases new NBC show On Brand and playing frisbee golf with Brad Pitt for upcoming Tonight Show episode. We both showed up in tie-dye outfits. Again, loser. He's a joke and not the funny kind. Hideo Kojima on how his illness affected Death Stranding 2, developing A24 film adaptation, and why his collaboration with GU is about more than fashion. I don't play Kojima games. I know they're hailed. I just don't play Kojima games. Not my thing. Bruce Springsteen, who sucks, by the way, says Jeremy Allen White was wonderfully tolerant of biopic set visits, reveals he avoided watching deeply personal scenes. It involved some of the most painful days of my life. Little fun fact, the school I went to when I went to middle school in New Jersey, Bruce Springsteen lived in the house across the street. He bought this big-ass plot of land across the street and built an ugly-ass house there and was never there, but he owned the house there. Just little fun fact of my life. Bruce Springsteen lived across the street from us. And another fun fact, Geraldo Rivera lived on my street, where with my on the same street when I moved to Jersey, my stepdad's house, and we used to have 4th of July parties every year. And one time he came over and he brought his kid. His kid was a dick. His kid was a little bastard, son of a bitch. And him and his friends, I would have all my friends there, and they would come over, and they came over, and they didn't really want to do anything with us. They were too good. to hang out with us plebes. And so I remember it was early in the party and people were still arriving. I was sitting in the downstairs living room where basically was where I my part of the house. And I remember watching this dude just walk through the living room and I didn't know who it was, and going back in my memory because I was then told that was Geraldo Rivera. And I remember looking and realizing, wow, without all the makeup, he looks like shit. and this was in the 80s. This was in the 80s. Maybe the early 90s. I don't remember. It might have been the early 90s, but still. So there are a couple little stories. Yeah. Due to the fact that either because my mom worked in hair in New York when I was a kid, or my stepdad worked in and out of the music recording industry. He was a recording engineer for a while. Like, famous people walked in and out of my life, or like did drive-bys in my life, and it didn't mean shit. Didn't mean shit. Reckless friendships take center stage in Laura Magna's Las Irresponsables. Whatever. It hurts my mouth to say any of that. Real Housewives of London reunion to be hosted by comedian Catherine Ryan. I don't know who she is, and fuck reality television. Netflix's The Waterfront is highly bingeable family soap. TV review. Never heard of it. Don't care. Hot Girl Summer. Almost Brothers picked up by Picture Tree ahead of world premieres at Munich Film Festival. CJ E&M Inc.'s major contract deal with Shahid to bring K-dramas to Middle East, North Africa. Sure, because I am convinced that the Middle East population and those in North Africa are dying for K-dramas. It will solve... K-dramas will bring world peace. Marco Muller's WIP lab relocates to Shanghai Film Academy for December showcase. Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and A Better Tomorrow AI-powered kung fu film plans debut in Shanghai. Ooh. That just sounds so wrong. That sounds so wrong. The Pit. Nobody wants this. Only murders in the building. Publicity campaigns win at 2025 TPEC Awards. I don't watch any of those shows. I don't plan on it. CAA didn't steal writers' ideas for TV pilot, but may have blacklisted him. Judge rules. Eric Dane walks first red copper since ALS diagnosis. More about this guy. Don't care. Tragedy, but you know what? You're a celebrity. What about all the other probably hundreds, maybe thousands of people around the country, around the world that have ALS? They don't get a spotlight, but you do because you're famous. Sham review. Takeshi Miike's real-life courtroom thriller ends up shedding its complexities. Alan Freeman, pioneer movie marketing executive, dies at 88. Don't know who he is. Marvel adds possible fourth movie to 2028 slate if they get that far. Remember, they got Secret Wars and Doomsday and Secret Wars are both going to flop before that. Along with baby steps. Jocelyn Baldini can seek messages between Taylor Swift and Blake Lively. Judge rules. They're all bad people. Remember that. Okay, that's enough of variety. Oh, I've waited my whole life to find out if there was a bitter feud between B. Arthur and Betty White on Golden Girls. My whole life, I have waited for this knowledge. Can you taste the sarcasm? Seriously. Do you have nothing better to do than write a story on the Golden Girls and have the dirt that B. Arthur and Betty White, both dead, had a feud and didn't get along? Wow. Who cares? Don't expect Netflix to save U.S. broadcast networks. I don't expect anything to save broadcast networks. Classic television is dead. Network television's dead. It should stay dead because they killed it. Streaming killed it. You know what? I want streaming to die too. There's got to be better ways to get our television. Waterfront review. Topher Grace gives Kevin Williamson's unconvincing Netflix crime soap a much-needed boost. 28 years later, what the critics saying. Yeah, 28 years later, that's one of the movies this week. Part of our box office discussion this weekend. Our box office privilege on Sunday. James Gunn's Superman tracking for $135 million U.S. box office. Yes, yes, they're kind of they've lowered the spread, so to speak, for the domestic take. I believe it's now 90 to 135, down from 125 to 165, I think, something like that. That's considering how important this movie is. Oh, there it is. It says right there. 90 to 120 is the range. Now the new range. That's bad. That is bad. If they're tracking Superman from 90 to 120, max at 135, that's not great. That is not a great domestic for what this movie needs to do. With a budget of, with marketing included, of $600 million, roughly $500 to $600 million. If you're only tracking at 90 to 120, maybe maxing out at 135, and you hope that the worldwide, the worldwide or the international matches that. Oh, you're looking a little rough there. Looking a little rough, and especially when we likely dump all over this crap fest come the following days. Superman's in for a rough ride. We'll talk some more Superman in a bit. Mindy Kaling producing more shit. How does she still have a job? Mindy Kaling she's a cancer to everything she touches. She's not funny. She's terrible. Ugh. How to Train Your Dragon composer John Powell on fleeing the LA fires with only his hard drive and being John Williams' Padawan. Wait, this guy worked for John Williams? Hey, he does good music. But I've never heard of him, honestly, his name until now. He's done good stuff, clearly. Elliot Page, Pageboy Productions sign on as executive producers of Miss Peppermint documentary. Yeah, Ellen Page is not a dude. That's a chick. The Traders UK contestant and reality TV marketer on how unscripted hits can stand out. None of this. Okay, moving on. Let me check something real quick. There might be a problem here. Hold on one second. Okay, nope, everything's fine. Everything's ma-dandy. Okay, let's go back to Hollywood Reporter. Let's go check out IGN. And Nintendo confirms Pauline's age Donkey Kong Bonanza, leaving fans wondering whether it's a Super Mario Odyssey prequel and if Mario will appear as a potential villain. We'll talk more about it this weekend because we'll watch the trailer on Roundtable this weekend. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. To me, I don't care what the Nintendo drones are saying. Donkey Kong Bonanza is not going to move the needle with a real global audience. I don't care what you say. It's going to be like, boop, boop, gone. I'm just predicting. I'm not a Nintendo drone, so I'm not automatically go, yay, Nintendo game, yay! Call me an angry old man. I don't care. Chinese studios playing AI remakes of classic Kung Fu films. Yes, we saw that already. The Last of Us star can't watch that scene and doesn't want to watch spoiler die. What? Oh my God. Just say 4. Just say that it's the Joel getting hit in the gut with the golf club. It wasn't even as brutal as the video game scene. Spider-Man animated series writer says he was not asked to work on Spider-Man 94. Ooh. That's not good. That's not a good look. It's not a good look. Elden Ring Night Rain Shadow drops its first enhanced boss fight, and it's a hit. Good for the Night Rain players. I hope they're having fun still. Beat Saber pulls plug on PS4 and PS5 support. I don't know what that is. Is that a game? A company? Somebody tell me. Avengers Doomsday filming plans submitted to UK Council list returning MCU location. Bob's your uncle. They don't even have the script for that movie fully written. They're filming that shit on the fly, and it's gonna be so obvious. Oh, that movie's gonna do so bad, and I love it. Gears of War Reloaded responds to beta complaints with more maps and modes for this weekend's test. We heard you. I never played Gears of War because I wasn't a 360 guy. I always kind of was curious about it, but at this point in my life, I'm not sure I care enough to get it for my PS5. I just don't. Marvel planning the Fantastic Four First Step sequel, and it could reportedly launch in 2028. If that's the movie that they're going to try and put out in 2028, oh, man, they must really think they're going to get away with baby steps. No, I don't know what Beat Saber is. I don't. I am a sweet summer child, for lack of a better term. I don't know. If it's a Gooner game, then call me not much of a Gooner. I don't know. I seriously don't know. No idea. Rematch Devs explains what went wrong with crossplay, apologizes for failing to tell players as soon as it knew it wouldn't make launch. Well, it's a soccer game. Who cares? Capcom Spotlight digital event to showcase Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Street Fighter 6. Good luck, Capcom. Wait, all right, so Beat Saber is a VR Guitar Hero type game where you smash boxes with lightsabers to beats. That's retarded. I'm just going to say it out loud. That's retarded. Dune Awakening patches out Orna squishing in PvP by completely removing the ability to damage players and NPCs with vehicles. Not all fans are happy about it. I would have to be playing the game to have a take on that. I mean, vehicles and PvP, if it was part of it, then maybe you should have just nerfed it or allowed something cover-wise. I don't know. But that sounds like a cheap nerf. A cheap nerf to something that people were exploiting. That's what it sounds like to me. Those of you guys in the chat playing will have to give me more to work with if I'm going to have a more nuanced take since I haven't played it. We don't know what's happening yet. Doctor Who showrunner admits as series' immediate future hangs in balance. Well, we talked about that a little bit yesterday. They did hire a brand new content chief for the BBC. It's a Whammons. So they don't know what's happening. Showrunner. Well, I got to click on this. Showrunner. You mean Russell T. Davies? Yeah. Doesn't know what's happening. Yeah. It's called canceled. You know what? I'm gonna do? We're gonna bookmark this. And we'll come back to that on Sunday with Jed. That sounds like a winning topic for Jed and I. Let's see. All right, so we're into yesterday now. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Kotaku latest. I didn't do that. Let's do that. There we go. At least one band cut is. Oh, we talked about that yesterday. Nintendo console launches ranked from worst to best. Who cares? Celebrate is told by Steve. Oh, yes, this is another coping games journo attack on Stellar Blade. The thing we talked about that already. Tips for playing the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy VII Commander deck. Once again, I will tell you, if you're buying Magic the Gathering, you're supporting a company, Wizards of the Coast, who hates you. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy, you may love Final Fantasy, but you're supporting a company that has destroyed everything in the name of DEI, of agenda, of ideology. They've ruined everything they once had a claim to. I'm going to say, if you're doing that, you're supporting everything that's wrong in our nerddom, that's been destroying things we love. The Silent Hill movie will hit theaters January 2026, and this is stuff from yesterday. Okay, yeah, we've seen all that. All right, Park Place for actual news. Do a quick refresh. Trump Paramount $35 million lawsuit settlement stalls as CBS faces growing legal and financial pressure over bribery charges. Disney Cruise Line slashes deposit requirements as travel professionals confirm falling bookings. Gee, it's almost as if for years we've said this shit's crashing and burning. It's almost what we said for years. It's crashing and burning. That nobody wants to go on these things. You couldn't pay me to go on one of these monstrosities. They say it like 50, 60 years ago where the cruises were true luxury. This just cram everybody into small rooms and horrible, horrible service. And Eventually, the toilets get all blocked up and you have a flood of shit all over every deck. I don't know. I'm just saying. Ultra wealthy white actor Mark Ruffalo thinks ultra wealthy white people are the problem in America. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday a little bit. Bob Iger Oscar campaign backfires as Academy subs Disney boss after Kennedy push. Yeah, I believe they're giving one to Dolly Parton. And I forget who the other one is that they're giving it to. Who's getting the honorary Oscar. I know Dolly Parton's one of them. I forget who the other one is. Warner Brothers Discovery will slash the pay for David Zaslav after shareholders revolt, but his stock payout a golden parachute. Yeah, the Zaz has ended up not being that great. And now we're at yesterday's stuff. So those are the articles for the day. Take your pick. Think about it. All right. What do you guys want first? You want me to talk about James Gunn's latest interview at Entertainment Weekly, or do you want me to react to SpongeBob? Like I have to ask, but I think which one you guys want first? I think I even have to ask. Let me check. Dream elements. Okay. I'll give you guys a second to catch up. Oh man. What the madness we see is insane. It's insane. So I'm going to assume I know which one you guys want me to react to first. I'm going to assume. I'll give you a second though. This is your show, guys. Which one do you want first? You want SpongeBob or do you want James Gunn? They're kind of the same thing. Both a couple of insane retards. If I have my druthers, I'll do my article first. But I think you guys want some pain and suffering. I think you feel like you're due for some pain and suffering right now. Okay, so why don't we go with SpongeBob? Let's get that out of the way. Okay, so there'll be no audio for this. I'm using the background simply for context. Full disclosure, it's not as though I haven't ever seen SpongeBob in my life. I have, of course, come across it here and there, but I've never actually watched it. Not sat down and didn't get up and run away or do something else in the meantime. You guys asked for it, and therefore you get it. You said, Adam, watch Season 1, Episode 1 of SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know that essentially SpongeBob is one of those ABC shows. And what I mean by ABC is that they give you it's 3 segments, 3 mini tunes. To me, as I watch SpongeBob, it is reminiscent of it's trying to be what old school Hanna-Barbera and Warner Brothers used to be. Give you these mini short cartoons, mini short stories to entertain you for a few minutes. Here's the problem, though. There's nothing intelligent behind it. This is not intelligent comedy. It's retarded brain rot comedy. There's no real meaning to any of this. If you go back in the day and look at Hanna-Barbera shorts or Looney Tunes shorts, there was intelligence in that comedy. It was written with a point to make you laugh and realize that we're doing this with a little bit of smart to it. We're doing a little bit of class to it. We're not just being retarded. SpongeBob is retarded. So we are now going to go over Help Wanted, The Reef Blower, and I forget what the third one is called. I'll remind myself in a minute when we get there. But these first 3 episodes, these first 3 shorts, this episode is introducing, I guess, some of the major players. I know that the major villain Plankton is not introduced in these. I know that he still exists out there, and a couple other side characters. But these are all the major players that you're going to see throughout SpongeBob. Help Wanted. Let's see. Let's try it with this here. Help Wanted. Okay. This is SpongeBob goes to get his job at Krabby Patty's. I'm not sure how to even tackle this. SpongeBob gets introduced by waking up in the morning. You get a shot of his snail that sounds like a cat, and his first joke is "I'm naked" as he rockets out of his underwear into his pants and shirt. And it's not, I didn't chuckle once. Never even cracked a smile once this entire 20 odd minutes that I watched this stuff. And then he's hyping himself up because all he's ever wanted to do is serve fast food at Krabby Patty's. And we've been introduced that this is Bikini Bottom, this little town under the sea with the intro, which is also fucking brain rot. And he's going to go there, and his best friend, Patrick the Starfish, wishes him good luck. And Patrick's also semi-retarded too. And he's going to get there, and Squidward, who, let's be honest, we know who a lot of these characters are because SpongeBob memes are memes. They're used for everything. We use them all the time. And it's great for memes. I'll give this show that. SpongeBob is good for memes. And that's as much as a compliment you're going to get from me on this shit. So he arrives at Squidward, who's basically the curmudgeon of the series. He doesn't like anything fun. He hates SpongeBob, their neighbors. He sees SpongeBob coming, and he tries to get Mr. Krab out of the way so SpongeBob can't apply for the job. After Patrick, of course, had to give SpongeBob some more motivation to go inside. And now proceeds the next 5 minutes of brain rot, where they think they're going to get SpongeBob out of there by giving him an impossible job to go buy this ultra crazy spatula from the store. And after he leaves, in comes a bunch of buses, and it's just hundreds of anchovies who go, to which these two guys who run this restaurant, they're the only other two. Squidward and Mr. Krab are the only other employees there. There are no other employees. And I know I'm trying to make sense of retardation, but I can't help it. I'm trying to understand why they're telling the story this way. And they can't handle the rush of a bunch of sardines going, And meanwhile, SpongeBob is buying the spatula, and they're losing control. They don't know what to do. And then SpongeBob returns with the spatula, the scene here. And he's an idiot savant of fast food. And as long as he has this super spatula with port and starboard attachments, he's able to magically make hundreds of Krabby Patties, which he's never been trained how to do. Because he was born with a spatula, and he made a spatula out of toothpicks and wood chips, and was born asking people what would they like fries with that. So he saves the day and gets the job, much to Squidward's unhappiness. And that's your first episode. And meanwhile, all these sight gags of the anchovies, and these two afraid, not knowing what to do, and you get a little bit of the character development of Mr. Krabs, who likes money. It's just, none of it's funny. This is what you're giving kids. When did this come out? I don't know when this come out. Late 90s or early 2000s. When did this slop start? I don't know. But this is what you're giving kids. It's the introduction. This retarded sponge who is an idiot savant at making fast food. Or at least that's what you get from this. But none of these gags are funny. None of it is funny. SpongeBob shopping for the spatula. The sardines going, and these two cowering like idiots, unable to do their jobs. And then SpongeBob saving the day with masterful fast foodery. It's not funny. There's no chuckles in any of it. But it doesn't stop there. Because now they really do a callback to kind of old school cartooning with the next one, the Reef Blower, where it's essentially SpongeBob. It's a silent short is what it is. It's a silent short, like the old Looney Tunes stuff where nobody would say a word and that the actions would kind of tell the story. And what we see here is it starts with Squidward. Everything's nice and clean except for a shell on Squidward's front lawn. So he flips it over to SpongeBob's side, which causes SpongeBob to go get his reef blower and therefore end up causing more damage to everything by blowing sand everywhere, draining the water, redoing that. And it's like 3 minutes of just sight gags, which aren't funny. And I get what you're saying, Kratos, when you said it's an example of what not to be, an example of what aspired to. I don't think that doesn't come across to me. And I don't think that there's too much rot to have any meaning to it. I don't think kids are getting that. Kids are just seeing this retarded sponge go and bounce off of shit and slide around. That's what they see. There's no meaning to this stuff except retarded hero always somehow survives. So the second one, Reef Blower, is just a bunch of sight gags where he's making Squidward miserable, and it's Squidward's fault because Squidward set up the problem in the first place by knocking the shell onto SpongeBob's front yard. If Squidward hadn't been a bitch, SpongeBob wouldn't have made trouble. I get it. That's the story. But none of it's funny. It's not entertaining. I don't understand. I grew up with real cartoons. I grew up watching Looney Tunes at Hanna-Barbera. True art. This is not that at all. Not that at all. Not that at all. All right, then let me get the other one. Let me get the last one up real quick here. 1 second. Let me get that up. Where did it go? There it is. What? Oh, wait, derp. Hang on a second. Come on. Work with me here. This one is Tea at Tree Dome. And it's the introduction of Sandy the Squirrel, who, for some reason, lives under the sea with them all. And this is the introduction to Sandy, who, I know this for a fact. I've even done it. I've shown it on other streams. There are weirdos who have a thing for her. Creepy, furry weirdos have a thing for her. That's just fucked up. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. So this is the introduction of Sandy the Squirrel. Or the land squirrel, as they call it. And SpongeBob comes upon her when he's doing his hobby for hunting, trying to catch jellyfish who make buzzing noises as they fly around for some reason. And he comes upon her fighting a clamshell. And he tries to help her, but in fact is retarded and not strong at all. And she ends up saving him, and they become friends, and they trade really lame dad jokes back and forth. And she's apparently a Texan, I guess, because the way she speaks. And she says, "Why don't you come over for tea?" And now SpongeBob's a retard. Now, I wouldn't expect SpongeBob to know what air is because he lives under the sea and he's never been to the surface. So she invites, thinking that air is something that he needs to be knowledgeable about. He doesn't know that it's what she needs to breathe. She invites him over, and Patrick gives him advice about putting on airs, like hold your pinky high. Hold your pinky high. The higher it is, the better it is, whatever. And he's going to go there, and it's basically now him trying not to be a quitter and suck it up. And suck it up, because of course he's aquatic life. He can't breathe air. He's going to dry out. So it's basically once he grows to her little tree dome, for tea and crackers, he basically is suffering as he's drying out. And eventually you get a sight gag of both him and Patrick all dried out in real life, sponge and a starfish. Until then, the joke is, oh, it's okay to ask for help. I mean, I guess that's the message of this bit. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say you need something that you needed to live. You need to breathe water. So that's it. And it's just the introduction of Sandy, who is always ready for a fight and it wants to be friends with them. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just my underlying theme for all this is, for a first episode, none of this is funny. I don't understand how a kid would laugh at any of this. Having myself laughed at Looney Tunes when I was a kid. And they're trying to do Looney Tunes stuff in this. They're trying to copy Hanna-Barbera. They're trying to copy everything they did at Warner Brothers, where they have the music playing in the background to try and enhance the gags, stuff like that. Some of the zany action, some of the over-the-top damage and pain and suffering that SpongeBob will go through. But to me, comparing it to true classic cartoons, which this is based upon, it misses the mark by a lot. Now, maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. But I don't get it. I do not get this. And I very much doubt, because I have seen a little bit here and there in my time. As I said in my opener, I have seen a little bit here in time. I don't think this gets any better over time. In fact, I think it only gets worse. I mean, at one point, I do know there's Plankton. As I said, the Plankton, his whole mission to get the secret recipes of the Krabby Patty and take over the world. Then there's Mr. Krabs' daughter, who's a sperm whale. It's just I don't get it. I don't get it. This is my honest to God take. I watched this morning. It's fresh. It was the first thing I did this morning once I'd wiped the sleep out of my eyes. I was fresh, blank slate, mind not really thinking hard yet, which was like the perfect way for me to go into watching this. I'm not thinking yet. Let's see if it'll hit me. No. So, SpongeBob SquarePants. I will never understand its popularity, and I honestly think this has contributed to brain rot in children. I do. There you go. All right, Kratos. There you go. I did it as promised. I mean, there wasn't anything in this that was really meltdown worthy, to be honest. I didn't melt down watching this, or I didn't lose my mind or anything. If I had lost my mind, you would have heard me lose my mind. I was just like, oh, come on. No. So, there we go. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you for that important piece of information. Still retarded. Doesn't change the fact it's retarded. Anyway, all right. So, let's see. What do we got here? We got anything else on here? Nope, nothing else requested. So, I'm going to do my article now. Maybe. All right, so I am now going to do my article that I want to read. I haven't read this yet, so we're going to read this. It just came out this morning, a little bit before we got started. Let me see how long it is. Oh, it's really long. Oh, it's a Q&A. Oh, it's a Q&A. Oh, all right. You know what? We're gonna start it, and we're gonna skim it to certain questions. Okay. We'll take this bit by bit. We'll go through the questions. So James Gunn did an interview with Entertainment Weekly. And we get more James Gunn, because that's what we need more of. James Gunn going into this stuff. So here we go. James Gunn. DC's Man of Tomorrow, James Gunn, on Superman, Gods and Monsters, and What's Next exclusive. This is already bullshit, because as I've been saying for a few days now, his whole Gods and Monsters timeline, his what it's going to look like, it's already been broken up and destroyed. It's not originally what he set down. Roughly 60% of it is not on the slate anymore and has been altered and moved around. So it's already bullshit. Oh, God, I hate you. I hate you right now. So let's get to the questions. Let's see. What more movie? Oh no, that's Entertainment Weekly. All right. So EW is going to ask. Oh, this should be a good one. You're one of the very few filmmakers, probably the only head of a studio, who is so active on social media. When did you decide that you really wanted that sort of direct line of communication between DC fans? Now, let's remember, James Gunn only makes things worse because he's on social media, because we catch him in lies constantly. He's constantly, and also he picks fights with people in fandom. This is not how a director or studio head behaves. It just isn't. Let's see what he says. I think it just happened naturally. In fact, I'm much more or less active than I ever have been on social media, just mostly because I'm busy, but also because it's just too much. I've been on social media really since MySpace took off and have had a lot of interaction with fans online since that time. I am from Manchester. Is that Missouri? I think that's Missouri. MO. Manchester, Missouri. I don't know anyone in Hollywood. I didn't know anyone in Hollywood. Those few moments were when I was young and I was able to interact with somebody who was part of this, what I thought of as a magical and distant and faraway world of Hollywood or entertainment media in general, whether it was a local DJ or Joe Strummer who I met while I was a kid, or Pierce Brosnan who I met when I was a kid, really meant a lot. I've always wanted to give that same thing back in terms of realizing these people who are buying tickets to my movies and making fan art and all these things are just people, and to treat them with the respect and human beings deserve by creating that hype of mutual respect with fans that they deserve. As I said, that's not what he does online. James Gunn lies to everybody. He talks out of both sides of his mouth, and he does treat people like shit. He's sarcastic. He's mean. And only people he cares about are the stands. Those fans who make fan art, those are stands. Those are the only ones he liked because they kiss his ass. So that is grade A bullshit right there. Grade A bullshit. Let's skip that one. Doesn't look like an interesting question. What's it like for you to do that? Well, what is it like for you to do that? What is it like for you to do that being? Oh, it's answering a question from the previous thing. Compartmentalize. Let's skip that one. What's it been like juggling your responsibilities as co-head of DC Studios with your responsibilities of writing and directing Superman? So the balance isn't between creative and business. The balance is between specific creative and macro creative. Peter Safran, he does all our meetings. He does all the business stuff. For me, it's about writing and directing, but it's also about shepherding other writers and directors, which is what originally we said was going to be a good thing about him being involved, until he decided to write Superman, which he doesn't understand. It's all about trying to come up with other ideas for other shows, other movies that I give to other writers to take care of. So my job is all creative. Occasionally, there are other things that you need to do, of course, as any writer-director does, but mostly it's taking care of the creative storytelling across all platforms. That would be great if you were actually telling good stories right now, which you're not. All evidence tells me from people who I know who've seen it, Creature Commandos was garbage. And Superman looks like it's going to be complete and total garbage. And then you got Lanterns, which is about to end filming. You've got Supergirl, which just finished filming. It's in post right now. Garbage. That said, it's a little bit too much at times. I can't do everything. I've had to try to focus on what I could focus on, which has been part of my learning process over the past couple of years of having this job. If I try to do everything, it's too little of any one thing. So I need to really focus on certain pieces of what's happening. When I find something really terrific, what I found with Damon Lindelof and Chris Money and Tom King, who are running Lanterns, that tells you everything you need to know. Lindelof, I don't know about money, but Lindelof and Tom King. Lindelof, who has run just about every television project from producer angle into the ground that he's ever been a part of. It's all been dog shit. He's one of the worst. And Tom King, who ruined Batman and who wrote the Supergirl shit that they're basing the movie on. Tom King is a beta cuck, he's a gamma cuck male. That's who you put in charge of Lanterns, a show about two alpha males, Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. This tells me you didn't put trust in good people. These are some of the worst people to put trust in. Give me a break. I read the scripts, I give them notes, but then I let them go do their thing. And that means their thing is going to be garbage. I mean, I'll watch the detail. I'll watch the dailies, make sure everything's going okay, and then I'll watch when we start getting the cuts in, which I think we're supposed to get next week or something. I'll start giving them notes on the specific cuts, whereas maybe I was a little bit more involved during the writing phase, for instance, of Supergirl, because that was something that was one of the first ideas I had when I came to work at DC. I really wanted to adapt Woman of Tomorrow, the Tom King book, so it depends on what's happening. And that tells you all you need to know. Tom King is terrible at what he does. But James Gunn put him in charge of a movie, along with Damon Lindelof. Garbage. Let's see. I don't care about that question. All right, these are all about Superman. So let's read these. These are about the movie. 2 characters that I have a question mark over are the Hammer of Baravia and this Ultraman figure. It's like saying I like the Superman. I like the Star Wars. I like the Star Trek. That's total person who has no idea what they're even talking about. This Ultraman figure. We've broken down Ultraman enough times. Alternate reality Superman. In this one, likely a clone that will turn into Bizarro if the leaks are true. Am I on the right track assuming Ultraman is Luthor's attempt to recreate Superman kind of figure? Am I really off? It's close. Yeah, I think that's close. Ultraman is sort of Lex's thug and is pretty powerful. Yeah, it's if the leaks are true, Ultraman is a Superman clone that will turn into Bizarro, and that will lead to more bullshit. And in terms of the Hammer of Baravia, we got that shot of Eve Tessmacher, played by Sarah Sampaio, taking a selfie while that battle is going on. So that implies a Luthor Corp connection. I'd rather they didn't do the Miss Tessmacher stuff and just give us mercy. Give us mercy. Yes, totally. Lex is connected to everything. There's nothing bad happening in Metropolis during this movie that doesn't have some connection to Lex Luthor. And I've said Lex Luthor shouldn't be in the movie. We should not be leaning on Lex Luthor. How much do you see Superman as proof of concept of what big screen films in the DCU can look like? I don't want to talk about that. That's a dumb question. Oh, this is a funny one here. All right, listen to this. Listen to this one. I've seen this one. There was that situation on social media where people thought David flying was a CG superimposed thing. Was that telling when you talk about having to figure out how to pull off these mechanics of getting David to fly authentically? No, I don't think it was so much. It was a TV commercial, and it wasn't a finished visual effects shot. This says so much about how they've approached this marketing campaign. Let's purposefully put out a TV spot for Superman where it's a unfinished special effects. No, the internet's not going to go wild and attack us over this. No, not at all, not at all. It just tells me James Gunn doesn't know what he's doing. That's all this tells me. Doesn't know what he's doing. Has no idea how to market. So part of him was flying. It was a photograph of his face and him flying. So it was CGI. When it came out, remember the stands are all going, oh, it's really him. It's really him. It's not CGI. He just admitted they essentially photoshopped his face onto the body. It's retarded. So it's all the pieces were real, but it was incorporated in kind of a funky way. Because I'm James Gunn, and don't you like quirky? I didn't love the shot, so it's not even the shot that it's in the movie. Sometimes I'm pretty strict about what I'm going through in a trailer and looking at each of the shots, but sometimes the commercials, I forget to look at this closely. So that kind of got by me. Bullshit. You're a liar. You thought it was quirky and cool, so you put it out there because that's who you fucking are. Oh, this should be good. You titled the first phase of the DCU as Gods and Monsters. How much of Superman is really crucial to that overarching story that you're thinking of telling across these films and TV shows? Oh, it's very important. I wouldn't say Creature Commandos. I wouldn't say Creature Commandos is important. Then why did you start with it? Why does it even exist if it's not important to your overarching story? Why? Bullshit. But Peacemaker and Superman are both pretty important in terms of getting to the bigger story. Peacemaker, which nobody's going to watch. Nobody's going to watch Peacemaker because nobody cares. At the same time, I'm really trying to be careful that anybody can dip in and see the story that is up next and not feel like they're missing information. The other stories can provide added texture to what you're watching. Bullshit. Bullshit. Cop-out answer. Cop-out answer to excuse why I'm throwing in random shit that doesn't work and doesn't make sense. That might change down the line as we get deeper into what's happening in this universe. It could be like Infinity War and Endgame, where you kind of have to see Infinity War to know what's going on in Endgame. But right now, I'm trying to keep it so you don't have to see Superman to see Supergirl, for example, even though Supergirl's likely to make an appearance at the end of the movie if the leaks were true. Even though there's a lot of stuff with Superman that leads to Peacemaker, you certainly don't need to see it to see Peacemaker. It's just good if you have it's just good if you have, but we also say previously on DCU before every episode, so the TV stuff's pretty easy. Moving on. Let's see. Have you cast the other two, Wonder Woman and Batman? No. We cast Robert Pattinson, so he's still there, but he's still important. What Matt's doing is still really important, despite all the stories to the contrary. We're supposed to see that script shortly, and I can't wait. Translation, we're going to throw this movie out the first opportunity we get. The first excuse we get, we are going to push it aside because it's not fitting into what I'm doing. And it was basically part of the deal when I was brought on board, and I couldn't get rid of it that way. Let's see. This is talking about the Clayface thing, whatever. See, Clayface not included in the original Gods and Monsters. They added that in. Let's see anything else interesting here. Is Superman sequel on your mind? What I'm working on in some way is, yes. But is it straight a Super sequel? I would not say necessarily. There's your mistake. Is there anything more you could say about the mystery project you're writing next? Is the project that you'll direct next? Well, I always leave saying I'm going to direct something till I'm actually done with the screenplay. And then I say, yeah, I want to do this. But it's probably what I will direct. Yeah, probably, to be totally realistic, yes, probably. Anything here? Paradise also moving along. So, translation, it's not moving. You just said you're doing a Wonder Woman movie instead. Yeah, is that really directly connected to your larger plans for Wonder Woman in this space? Yes, well, yes and no. Wonder Woman's a separate thing. Yeah, Wonder Woman's separate from Themyscira. Make a Themyscira show and not have anything to do with Wonder Woman. Yeah, exciting, riveting. A lot of people are blowing up on social media. Probably the Batman part, don't care. There's one more. One last question. Are there other characters who will appear in Superman who have not been announced yet? Yes. So, congratulations. Superman will be even more bloated with other characters. This movie's going to be a joke. It's going to be a joke. It is. It really is. It's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster. Plain and simple. And I can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. James Gunn deserves everything he gets. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. If I'm wrong and this is the greatest movie of the summer, then I'll say it. But from all I've seen, all the evidence on hand that we've seen, and I'm not a dick-sucking, ball-licking stan, this movie is a mess right now. Either way. All right. That's my segment there. Okie doke. This movie's going to be bad. It just is. I don't think they can catch up. There's nothing to catch up to. Anyway. I don't think anything. I think Jessica Cruz is a waste of a Green Lantern. Everything about this is bad. Crypto. This is a crypto CGI movie. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about crypto lore wise. I don't give a fuck about crypto ever. I've never given two flying fucks about crypto. Never in my entire life. Never. Anyway, all right. So it's time to watch our videos of the day. Let's see. Let's check. Let me check on Stream Elements real quick. Nothing fresh, just what was already reserved for today. So we'll watch, because it's Juneteenth and it's the shortest one. We'll watch this one first. And let's get it up here. This is Nick Cannon, Nos, and Affion PSA throwback. I only know who Nick Cannon is. I think I know who Nos is. All right, so let's this is courtesy of specifically Nick Cannon's loin spawn. All right, here we go.
There's a period of great distress in the rap universe. There was a time when hip-hop was a form of empowerment. Now the corporate world is quickly diluting our culture for nothing more than profit, with the ever-mounting forces of ridiculous dances, ignorant behavior, and general buffoonery. It's only a matter of time before hip-hop's permanent annihilation. This is what the future holds if it don't stop.
Listen, I ain't no fan of the hip-hop. I don't get the hip-hop. I don't know what makes it stop. So I have no idea. I always thought it was bad, honestly. I always thought it was bad. So whatever happens now, I let it happen. Hold on to our butts. Here we go.
Howdy there, Shook. Top of the morning to you.
Oh no. Are they doing black on blackface? Is that deep black? Do we call that, if it's a black guy doing blackface, is that deeper blackface? Is that blacker face? Is that darkness?
Yeah? Boy, you know this show is a good ditty right here. Massa gonna love us. Mm-hmm. You know I was hungry. What should we eat? Some of that good old watermelon. Oh, yeah. Eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon. Show.
How about some grape soda?
Well, it's good. Eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon. Show is good. Yeah. Hey. Uh-huh.
They got them grills. They got them decked out grills.
Okay. Eara. What's next?
Eara.
Eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon.
Shook and jive.
Eat that watermelon. Show is good. Eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon, eat that watermelon. Show is good. Hey there, Shook. Yeah, Jive. I think it's time to break it on down. This watermelon ain't gonna eat itself. Ham bone, where you at?
Ham bone? Man, we got all the I'm just waiting for the fried chicken and grape soda to top off this racisms.
Ham bone, where you at? Massa is coming. Massa is coming. Massa is coming. Hide the watermelon. Hide quick.
Yo, check it, y'all. This is Nas. And if that don't stop, hip-hop is dead.
Okay. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. Fake holiday. Well, now, that was special. I feel racismed up for some reason. I feel like my racism's leveled up with that. All right, now for the larger video that we have. This is, as I said, this is from Bimo the Hedgehog. It's a small channel, only 651 subscribers, from 10 years ago. That's so strange. It got 163,000 reviews, but it's only got 651 subscribers. I don't think I have to worry about a claim then. I don't think I have to worry about a claim. I was going to say, maybe I shouldn't be looking at somebody's small channel content, but no, this is from 10 years ago. They got all they were getting out of this. So this is Rant against Sonic fan base. You all ruined Sonic. Sammy, classic Sonic fan. Okay. All right. I was a old school normie Sonic fan. I played the original games and I enjoyed some of the comics and some of the early cartoons. And that was about it. It's older than that. Okay. Okay. Repo. All right. See, there's only one thing. This guy will win me over. This guy will win me over if he says, fuck Amy Rose, Sally is better. He'll win me over if he puts that in there. Because Princess Sally was great. And Amy Rose is a dumb bitch. This kid looks like a little rage monster. I think I might like him. I'm feeling the rage monster here. Yeah, here we go. I'm not even going to try to read that. I mean, his cursive is actually pretty good. His partial cursive. It's little print, a little cursive in there. It's not bad though. It's not slop. Better than mine. I can't write cursive anymore. Oh, his voice needs to just crack already. He doesn't. Oh man, his balls haven't dropped yet. His balls haven't dropped yet.
I'm had with all you freaking trolls, and all you freaking haters, and all you freaking Sonic fan pricks.
He knows what word he wants to say. He knows exactly what word begins with an F. He knows exactly what word he wants to say.
You guys are the ones that ruined Sonic for everyone.
Jeez. That's like Dermy octave, dude. That's Dermy level octave.
Can't you see that? What the frick are you guys doing? Asking for all this freaking garbage. Why do we need Sonic Adventure 3? Why do we need Sonic Heroes 2? Why do we need another Boost to Win title? Why do we need a Sonic 2006 sequel? Why do we need all that? Can't we have a 3D environment classic Sonic game for crying out freaking loud?
Ah, man. Damn. Is this going to go on for another 12 minutes? My God, Kratos. This kid's going to do this for 12 more minutes? I need a deep breath.
You guys killed the Sonic series! All you freaking fan freaks and your freaking fantasies spewed out at you by freaking Paul Merchants! I'm tired of all you freaks! I am so freaking mad! I am so freaking mad! I mean, you guys have officially made me
It's a long outro.
lose my marbles!
Kid, your marbles haven't even dropped yet. Just stop.
Why can't you guys?
Oh no. that would be some horrible lore right there. That really would.
Just ask for a 3D environment classic Sonic game! This is a nightmare! I'm sure no Sonic fan would predict that the adventure fantasizers would ruin everything!
Okay, now you see, here's the problem. You can tell he's putting on an act here. You could tell now here's the grift. This is the grift. He's not really that angry. That's the problem. Now you're losing me, kid. Kid, you're losing me. I'm starting to sense your passion is manufactured.
And now, I bet by now, Sega has got a freaking Sonic Adventure 3 in development with freaking Sonic Team. Because you freaking fricks just can't ever be quenched. Your fantasies can't ever be quenched, can they?
Fantasies can't ever be quenched. Frickin' fricks. You frickin' fricks.
You freaking fricks! When will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
God damn. I hope this kid hit puberty one day. I really do. He needed it bad right here.
You guys keep on asking for Sonic Adventure 3, and you're ruining the Sonic series. Hasn't it already?
You know, honestly, I can't take him seriously wearing that Mario backpack. I really can't.
Suffered enough, and it's still suffering. What the frick? Sega just can't perfect Sonic in the modern world, can they? All because we have to have modern Sonic. We have to have the modern characters. We have to have an adventure title, don't we? Another adventure title.
What was that? What was that? What was that? What was that? You know what? I know what needs to be done. We need to like put Dermy's head on this kid. That's what we need to do. Hell, Joe, how are you? We need to put Dermy's head on this kid, or Cloud's head on this kid. Either one, it works.
You freaking fricks! I've had it! I freaking had it! You guys have officially ruined everything! You've ruined the Sonic series! The Sonic series is dead because of a Sonic fan base! I will forever hate the Sonic fan base! They ruined everything! Ruin everything! I hate the Sonic fan base! I hate them!
All right, again, I'm not buying his anger. That's an empty basket that he had there for his rage moment. It's an empty basket. You want me to be convinced? Attack the shit you have piled on top of your dresser, kid. Go nuts on that shit. Then I'll feel your anger and your passion.
Why does the Sonic fanbase have to be like this? Oh, why does the Sonic fanbase have to be so numbskull? Can't you guys freaking accept that we need a 3D environment classic Sonic game? Holy freaking fricks! Holy freaking...
I would love it if it was like his mom came in and asked him what's wrong. That would make this brilliant. Honey, what's wrong? Honey, have you taken your Adderall today?
Fricks! Why can't we have a 3D environment classic Sonic game? Is that so hard to ask?
See, now he's just repeating himself.
Why can't we have a Sonic CD sequel?
Oh, okay. All right. Now he's speaking my language. Okay, he just got a little proper old school there. Sonic CD, my favorite. The last game I really played. Sonic CD was outstanding. I love Sonic CD. It was a great game. Great game. Outstanding soundtrack. He just spoke a little truth there. In the midst of his high-pitched squealing, he dropped a little truth bomb there.
Or a Sonic prequel. Or even a proper Sonic 4. Why do we have that? Why do we need a Sonic Adventure 3? Why do we need that?
Oh my God! Why, kid? Dude, I really hope puberty hit him soon after this. He needed it.
Why? Tell me!
Rage will tell me! That was a quick switch. Tell me!
Tell me now! Curse you, Sonic Rex!
Jesus Christ. Oh.
You guys ruined it! Adventure 3. Give us treasure hunting. Give us shooting. That's what Sonic's all about, huh? Right, Sega, right. Give us freaking more Sonic clones. Yeah, we need more of those. As if Shadow wasn't enough, or Silver. Oh, while you're at it, why not freaking give us more Dragon Ball Z Sonic duels? We all need that, huh? We all need that. We don't need classic Sonic, right?
What the hell? Oh man, he's not wrong, but he's in a loop of what he's saying. And because he's clearly like 10 or 11, maybe 12, he doesn't have, or at least his brain hasn't developed enough. Mine certainly was, because I was an intelligent kid. His brain hasn't developed enough to make solid arguments. So he's just repeating what he hates. Now, if he really, he's not wrong. All those things did kill the Sonic franchise. They did. But it's what happens when humans attain full lucidity. Well, when we can actually see the Matrix. Listen, I stopped playing Sonic before any of the other hedgehogs were introduced. I don't know Shadow from a hole in the wall. I don't know Silver. I don't know any of that. The last stuff I saw, last time the Sonic cast expanded was during the Freedom Fighters era. We got Princess Sally, we got Bunny, we got Sebastian. I mean, that's really freaking old school. But that's oh no. Oh no. Touchies. I never played them, but clearly they didn't do, Frank, what they needed to, because the franchise is in ruins right now. The movie did well, but the franchise as a gaming franchise is in ruins. Listen, I remember when they still called it Mecha Sonic and not Metal Sonic. That's what I remember. Okay, let's keep going.
Why you guys have to ruin it, your fantasies? Why does it have to be like this? I mean, for months, I've been giving everyone my ideas of a 3D environment class.
Everyone. I've been giving everyone my ideas. You're 12. You're 12. No one cares what you think about your ideas. Let's be honest. No one cared what I thought about my ideas for stuff when I was 12. All right. What this kid needs to do is go through puberty. He needs to have puberty happen, and he needs to rub one out. He'll feel better.
Classic Sonic.
And he's probably a furry, too. That's the thing. He's probably a furry now.
Game. In the style of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is personally the best Sonic game. Okay? I mean, Sega never acknowledges Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It makes me so mad.
Sonic and Knuckles was actually cool because Sonic and Knuckles, you could take the Sonic 3 cartridge and plug it into the top of Sonic and Knuckles. That was pretty cool. I had that. That was cool. That was a cool concept where they would read each other's data old school wise.
I mean, why doesn't that game get attention? Even Sonic CD does. This makes me so freaking mad. You Sonic fans had to ruin everything in your adventure fantasies. Holy frick. Oh, give us Sonic Adventure 3. Give us Sonic Heroes 2. Give us Shadow the Hedgehog 2. Give us Sonic 2006 2. Sonic 2006 sequel. Yeah, give us more Boost to Win. You guys are already asking for more Boost to Win. Oh, frick Sonic Lost World. Give us more Boost to Win. No! You frickin' fricks!
You freaking fricks. Oh, he doesn't have a very expansive vocabulary, does he?
You guys have to ruin it! You guys have to ruin it! Why? Why does it have to be like this? Why does it have to be like this?
There you go, channel that anger. Come on, man. It hurts. That hurts.
You you have to ruin everything? Why?
That wasn't rage. He just went, He didn't really throw those. He just tossed it because he didn't want to really damage his gaming cases. That was bad. That fake rage. Fake rage!
Just why? Why does it have to be like this?
Oh.
I'm tired.
Look, see, I said, why don't you, but just going, fake rage. Fake rage. Grifter.
Of this. I'm tired of this. The Sonic series is ruined.
I'm tired of your fake rage.
You freaking fricks! Holy frick! Why does it have to be this way? I hate the Sonic fan base. Sonic is ruined. Why can't you guys launch a rebuttal against Sega for a 3D environment classic Sonic game? Why does it have to be that hard? You freaking fricks! Frickin' fricks! Frickin'! And like I was saying earlier, Sega never acknowledges Sonic 3 and Knuckles! What the frick? Why can't they ever frickin' acknowledge that game? They never frickin' port it! You always see them porting frickin' Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. It's never Sonic 3 and Knuckles! What the frick? If Sega just tried to make a game like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I bet that could recover the Sonic series. You frickin' fricks say, oh, the Sonic series can't be frickin' recovered. It can be frickin' recovered if you guys would just frickin' cooperate and frickin' ask for a frickin' 3D environment in classic Sonic game. Holy frickin' fricks! What the frick is wrong with you guys? Why does it have to be like this? Why can't you guys ask for something worthwhile? Why does it have to be like this? Oh, holy frick! I hate all you frickin'.
I hate this kid now. His broken record argument is really grating on me at this point. I just want it to be over.
Fan fricks. And like I said, it's always Sonic 1
You're right. He doesn't know how to end the video.
and Sonic 2. Those games always get acknowledged. It's never Sonic 3.
He just said that. This is the mind of a child. Repeating your... This is all a child can do. To repeat the argument over and over again without actual bullet points and an ending. That's why it's a kid. That's why this is a kid. And that's all they can do.
3 Knuckles. That's the best Sonic game. Holy frickin' fricks. It's not Sonic.
Frank, we're talking about a child here. They don't understand corporate politics. They only can blame the people they talk on the internet with at the time. This is like during the forum days of the internet. There wasn't social media as we know it. So this is a child. This is all he understands how to complain about, but he doesn't quite understand how to formulate an argument.
Adventure 2. It's not Sonic 06 like some of you say. It's not Sonic 2006. You freaking fricks come to my channel and say, "Oh, Sonic 2006 is the best game." I know it's just you freaking trolls trying to freaking mess with me. What the frick? What the frick? You freaking trolls just need to get off my channel right now. You freaking fricks! I hate all of you. Why does it have to be like this? Why can't you guys just be good people? And the Sonic
He is outside.
Sonic
You can tell he's outside at this point. You can hear the wind.
Series. You ruined this entire series. Holy freaking fricks! And guess what? You freaking fricks. Okay. You know what?
His friends must hate him. His friends must hate him. Because, like, having a conversation with him must be mind-numbing.
Mario is doing much better right now. I mean, when fans requested a 3D environment classic Mario game, Nintendo friggin' did it. Why can't Sega be the same? I thought when Sonic
I know, friends. Yeah, I know.
Lost World was announced, it was a 3D environment classic Sonic game. But guess what? Instead, we get Super Sonic Galaxy. Okay, I'm sorry that... Okay, I actually like Sonic Lost World. I'm sorry. I'm just getting worked up because of you freaking Sonic haters. Holy freaking frick.
Wait. He just lost his narrative. Sonic haters? We're talking, you've been attacking Sonic fans. Where did the Sonic haters come into this? This is the first bring up of Sonic haters. I think he crossed his wires and forgot which video he's making.
I mean, this makes me so mad. You freaking fricks just ruined everything with your freaking adventure fantasies. Your freaking adventure.
Oh, fake crying. He even did that. He even did that.
Freaking bricks ruined everything. Your freaking adventure fantasies. We can't get a Sonic 2006 sequel, you idiots. Because that's what ruined Sonic in the first place. You freaking bricks. You guys have to ruin everything.
God, just fucking shut up already. This is why you don't listen to stupid children.
Frick you!
Is it over?
Please, Sonic fans, I beg of you, please stop supporting Sonic Adventure 3 and support my idea of a 3D platforming classic Sonic game.
Grifter.
Please, all Sonic fans out there, we can assemble and heal Sonic for good. We don't have to listen to these adventure fantasizers, these freaking fan freaks. We don't have to freaking listen to them. Please, Sonic fans, please stop supporting Sonic Adventure 3. Stop ruining Sonic. You freaking fan freaks ruined Sonic. Oh, frick. Oh, frick.
He's literally doing the I'm throwing the tantrum on the floor shtick. This guy, this is all a fucking act. It's all an act. That's my final conclusion. That's my conclusion. This is it's all made up. He's not that angry.
This is freaking stupid. Curse you.
Curse you! Curse you, Gadget! I know he did hurt his foot. You're right. He did hurt his foot.
You Sonic babies!
Oh my. Enough. Oh my God. Oh damn. That kid has problems. There's some serious problems there. Okay, thank you, Kratos, for that brain melt. Oh man. Comments turned off on this video. Original description. You know what? Let me bring this back up. Let's read what this says here. Original description. Let's actually look at this. Original description. Warning, this is one of Sammy's loudest videos, louder than Stop Hating on Sonic. Oh, you can also hear him crying at 11:55. Yes, we call it the crying. Sammy Classic Sonic Fan Archive. A transcript. I don't need a transcript of. All right. You know what? All right, let's do something fun here. I was hoping it would be a page. I was going to say, can we want to guess how many times he said frick? How many times did he say frick in that video? That's what I would want to know. How many times did he say frick? Freaking fricks. You freaking fricks. All right. Unless anybody's got anything else, then that's it. 127, that's your guess. It's over 9,000. All right, guys. So unless anybody else has anything else they want to watch or talk about, then I feel good wrapping things up. We've still got a busy day ahead of us tonight. I believe we're going at 8 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Kel, and Alf, we are going to be playing some Space Marine 2, fighting the good fight against Xenos and Chaos. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. Tomorrow is Friday, which means we got one more episode of this for the week. And we've got Ballbusters, Saturday Night Drive-In, Top Gun Maverick, and then Among Us. It's Among Us for the month this Saturday. Ballbusters Gaming Among Us. Join us 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You can watch my perspective on that. And then let's see. Let's see. Sunday roundtable. And then all Mondays. And we start this all again next week. Every Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, the Daily Dive, the Double Ds, where you guys, the audience, make it happen. We are currently on the channel at 3,994. We're up one from yesterday. I lost one, but got one back, got another one. We are 6 away. 6 away from 4,000. It can't be that hard to get 6 more real subs. It can't be that hard, but apparently it is. I've been stuck here for a week. So thank you guys for all your support. You've gotten me this far. I appreciate it. We will return later with more stuff. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'll check Stream Elements one more time. Make sure we didn't get a last-minute thing in there because sometimes that happens and I miss it. But nope, we are apparently done for today. So thank you guys. I will see you guys later tonight for some Space Marine 2. Until then, take it easy, everybody.